Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, collective, to our reading. We are looking at the Ascended Masters Oracle cards. So let's take a look at what your message is today. I hope everyone is doing well. This is what the cards look like. I always like to share my cards just in case somebody hasn't seen these decks and um, they would like to maybe purchase them for their own understanding. Okay, so let's take a look and see what your message is. Let me know in the comments how you're doing, how this message resonates with you. I love understanding how these readings work and why I'm pulled to do them. So, feel free to let me know in the comments if they resonate with you, if you uh, feel that it was the right amount of information for you. Like I don't know, I like engaging with those that watch it. It just helps me to understand what we are facing and if it's the right energy for the collective. So, and for some of you, just remember that some of these readings, you you might resonate with certain things and then not resonate with others, right? For some of you, it because this is a collective reading, so for some you might be pulled here because the whole reading is for you, and for others you might just needed to have bits or pieces. So pay attention to your discernment, pay attention to your heart space. You will know what's meant for you, what resonates with you, and what does not, just based off of what feels right in your heart space and in your discernment. So this reading starts with retreat into nature. So we have green man energy here. So this card is really calling you to take time to honor who you are. Take time to go within your heart space and connect to where you came from before you was born into this technology world, and went down the path of you must do this, this, and this in order to live in this society kind of thing. Now, it's going to be different for everybody because depending on where you live, you might have different requirements. But this is telling you it's time to just go back out in nature. Just get outside some. There's so much stress going on, so many things that we overlook that nature offers us. Peace, calm, clarity, silence, grounding. You can go out in nature and you don't have to say anything. Nature will respond on its own to itself. You don't have to interact with it. You don't have to engage. You can just sit there and just allow your body to just connect, right? And that's what this card is saying, is that sometimes we need to turn off the world that we're being raised in and go back to the world that we were created from. One of the great ways of doing that is meditation. Yeah, going out into nature and just sitting, right? If you don't know, a lot of people say, well, I don't know how to meditate. There's no wrong way to meditate. Everybody is going to connect on their own way. Some people like to meditate with music. Some people like to meditate in silence. Some people like to walk while they're meditating and connecting. Some people like to sit, right? Some people like to lay down. Some people like to burn candles. Others like to have sage. Like, it doesn't have to be a certain way. It is what works for you. It's your way. Go within your heart and find the way that works for you. It's not going to be the same as everybody else around you. People can suggest ways for you to meditate. They can give you ideas. They can share what they do, but ultimately, you need to do what works for you. You need to do it the way that your heart resonates with. And that might be a completely different way than what you have ever seen anybody else do. And that doesn't mean that you're weird, strange, odd, wrong, none of that. It means that you are following your heart. The best way to get in touch with your true self and get aligned and go to who you truly are within the heart space when it comes to the meditation process is doing it your way. Some people like to read books. Some people, they like to sleep. They like to take a nap and go within themselves while they're resting. Like, you have to learn that the word meditate is a word. It is a word. Okay, but the true foundation of it is, how do you connect? Okay, that's what you're trying to take from this word. It's not how do you do it, it's how do you connect to yourself? How do you connect to your heart? How do you connect to source? How do you go within? Right? That is the true understanding of this. Okay, so the universe is telling you that, one of the best ways to connect to yourself and connect to, the part of you that is not anxiety, depression, stress, um, anxious, is to find your calm, to find your grounding, to find your peace. How do you do that? By going within your heart space and finding what makes you who you truly are, what makes you that that true self. Okay, the self that's not trying to meet a deadline, the self that's not trying to be the best person for this situation, that situation, but just being you. Right, and then you're being asked to listen to that. Right, whatever you're being guided to do within your heart space, to reconnect to your true self. Listen to that message, because that message is coming in for you. So don't say, well, I was guided to go to the top of the mountain, and then, and share that information with somebody else who says, well, why would you want to go to the top of a mountain? Like, that's dangerous, or or that's cold up there, or that's a long walk. Why would you want to do that? Like, be mindful, because what is meant for you, the others will come in and try to stop that. Okay, you have to remember that we live in a world where there is a yin and a yang. There's a light and a dark. Right, there's those that want you to reach your highest potential, and there's those that don't want you to reach your highest potential. There's those that are used by a darker energy to stop you from reaching your highest potential. So don't listen to someone that comes in and tries to direct you to do the opposite of what you're being guided to do with your heart space, because that person may want to um, make you not truly believe in your own understanding of yourself. Okay, so listen to your true self. If something desires you to do something, and you do share that with somebody, you also have discernment. If you share it with someone and they say, wow, that sounds really cool, which mountain are you going to climb? That's your person. That's your tribe. But if you tell it to somebody and they say, "Well, why would you want to do that? That's ridiculous. That's just going to take so much time. And what are you going to find up there? There's nothing up there." That's not your tribe. That's not the person who is going to support you in the different things that you need to be supported in to grow yourself, right? So thank the universe whenever somebody says that to you. Thank them. Thank the universe. Thank them. You know, and call people out on their behaviors. It's okay to call someone out. Thank you for saying that. You just reminded me of how important it is to keep my calling, my thoughts to myself. Sometimes the person will be like, "Oh, no, 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 I didn't mean anything negative by it," and that's okay. You're showing them that you caught what they were doing. Even if they didn't really understand what they did, you are showing them that you caught what they did, that you're aware of what kind of energy they're throwing your way. All right, some people might have legitimate reasons. They might have, fallen down a mountain or lost something on a mountain, and they just had that fear. And so you're just like pointing them at, you're just like being aware that they're negative, and they're pointing that negative in your direction, right? And then sometimes that opens a door to somebody being able to say, "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Um, I had a really bad experience in my life, and I'm not a fan of mountains." Right? That's a healing moment. That's a healing moment for them. That's a healing moment for your relationship with them. Right? So it's not all calling out are going to to show that the person's a bad person, right? But some of the calling outs are going to make you aware of who supports you and who doesn't, right? Some people, they're very much against meditation because they think that they connect it to religious uh, belief systems and things like that, and they don't understand that when we sit with ourselves, even in prayer or just silence, that is a form of meditation. So just be aware that you are going to have people that are going to support you and people that are going to question you. And regardless, you need to understand who you are and know yourself so that you understand the discernment of what to listen to when those people tell you something. Like for somebody might come in, wow, you want to climb a mountain? That's what you're being told to do is climb a mountain. Well, that's cool, but make sure if you climb a mountain that you take precautions. Make sure you take water. Make sure you let somebody know where you're going. Make sure that you take some form of weapon in case you run across animals that could try to hurt you. Blah blah blah. Then that person does care. They're just guiding you with uh, a heads up of what to do so that you don't stumble along the way, right? Or so that you're prepared for any kind of situation to occur that you may not have thought of, right? So again, you have to have your own discernment, but your heart will know when someone is purposely trying to crush your path or when someone has true intentions and they're just trying to make sure you're safe in the process of that thought process. So let it go. So this has to come in with letting go of the situation that you are in right now. Maybe for some of you there is just a lot going on. You might not have clarity. You might have clarity, but you might be holding on to hopes that this happens or that happens, or and this card is just saying you need to let it go. Like, you can't control anything outside of you. All you can do is control what is going on within you. Even in society, we can't control things, right? We do to a certain extent. Like, we can control how we engage in society. We can control how we, maneuver through society, where we shop, where we go, who we meet up with, things like that, yes. But for the overall, you can't really control other people's actions, choices, thoughts, behaviors, um, and the way situations happen. You have to kind of like play it out. It's almost like everybody's doing their part. So when you're being asked by the universe to let it go, it means to let go of expectations, to let go of disappointments, to let go of control issues, right? How you want to see something go might just be your own perspective, but it might not be anybody else's. How you want to participate in something might be your own desires, but not somebody else's actions, right? So you can't participate in something if somebody isn't participating back. Like, it's just a one-sided thing. So there are situations where you are going to have to be the better um, I don't want to say be the better person, but you're going to have to be the better choice. You're going to have to make the better decisions to handle things in a different manner by letting go of control, by giving it to God, giving it to Source, giving it to Creator, your ancestor, spirit team. You're just going to have to let it go and just see what happens, right? Put it all in the divine's hand and see what happens. See what comes out of the whole situation. Sometimes letting it go is the best thing you could have ever done in the process because it gives you freedom, it calls back your power, and it completely turns the game upside down for anybody who thought they could play you or control you or manipulate the outcomes of things. When you let something go, you just let it go, and you're no longer showing up, you're no longer giving your energy, you're no longer allowing this situation to control you, manipulate you, um, take your energy from you, whatever. Like, when you let it go, you are now standing in your divine self. And in that, you are able to decide with the creator, with your spirit team, where do I want to go next? How do I want to heal this and transmute this as the alchemist that I am and was created to be, so that I can move forward without this stopping me, without this interfering with my life, right? That's what the whole letting go process is. A lot of people think, oh, well, how can you let that go? That there's no way you can let that go. That person had no right doing this, that. That's not what they're talking about. This card is all about calling back your energy, calling back your power, refusing to play the game, simply walking away from a situation that was anticipating you to give forth all of your life force energy and your worries, doubts, fears. When you just simply say, nope, done. The universe can have it, the creator can have it, God can have it, whatever. However it's meant to be, it will work out. That is where you truly call in the true power of faith, and the true power of allowing divine justice to work on its own time, on its divine timing. And you also allow yourself to heal. You allow yourself to be happy. You allow yourself to see the better picture of today. What can I do today to make myself happy? Oh, I can another cup of coffee. I can go for a walk in nature. I can do some meditation. I can listen to a podcast, whatever it is. You are pulling back your happiness, you're pulling back your strength, right? And you're not allowing this situation to pull you in this direction, and then you're sitting there later wondering how you didn't get any of this done, and it's because your mind, your heart was too wrapped up in this over here, right? So it's okay to acknowledge something, it's okay to feel the emotions, but you don't want to get entrapped there. And when you're being called to let it go, that's the universe, that's God's source telling you it's time to heal, it's time to call back your power, it's time to redirect your thoughts and your heart energy and your frequency. The way you hold yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you allow someone to come into your life all holds a frequency. And when you are giving all that energy to something that pulls you down, your whole image, your whole energy, it falls as well, right? And then you have to kind of pull yourself back up again. So letting it go is not saying that it's okay what was done. It's just simply stating that you are no longer going to allow that energy to have any kind of force over what is going on with you, right? You are no longer going to allow anything that is not for your highest good, confirmation, um, to take part in your space, right? And therefore, that allows you to be more focused on what truly matters. Which comes to your next card, freedom. When you let it go, again, you're calling back your freedom. When you let go of that energy of saying, you know, I do not need to control this situation. What I need to do is love myself, call back my power, call back my energy, see how I can alchemize all of this to make me move in a better way, in a healthier way, to heal myself so that I can be happy and on the right path that aligns with my highest good. Then you are getting the freedom. You're pulling back the freedom that this situation took from you, took from your mind, took from your heart, took from your energy, right? You're calling back your freedom to be able to open up your mind to better things, to happier things, to a new lifestyle, a new path, right? That's the main thing. And when that happens, you are aligning with your priorities, right? You then can get your head on straight and you know exactly where your time, energy, and attention needs to go. And you're no longer wasting it on a situation or people or something that just purposely wants to keep you distracted, or something that purposely wants to keep you from going within and continuing to expand on your true self and continuing to grow your life and your happiness and your path that leads you to where you truly want to be in the future, right? So this definitely helps your priorities to come back online as to what really truly matters most. All right, so let's look at our closing card. We have Lady Nadia, mother, wife, sister, daughter. Okay, so this card is all about true feminine energy coming in here. This could be someone who is very, very empowering. It could be you, or it could be someone in your life who truly does inspire you to be your best person. Someone who reminds you that you are a part of nature, that you are birthed and held and given life through a higher force, and you can find that love within yourself. The masculine energy is like protection, leadership. I'm not saying that female energy isn't leadership either, but like the masculine energy is kind of like that strong forward energy, where Lady Nadia, the mother wife, you have this comforting energy, this love within, loving yourself, self care, self love. And then as you love yourself and you care for yourself, you're able to be that better part of you for others. Right? You're able to show up for others in a way that is very loving, kind, and empowering with healthy boundaries, right, with yourself. And then our closing card is teacher. So, yes, everything that you are doing right now, as you're doing it, you're learning. This is all a learning process. You're learning how to come back up again. You're learning how to close doors. You're learning how to love yourself more and to step into your true energy and to make people stop and not even recognize who you are because they cannot predict you and control you like they were able to do in the past, right? And that is making you a teacher, because as you do all of this, the universe will then say, you have done so well. Let's take what you've done and let's empower others to do the same, right? Your story, your walk, it's never unseen by the creator, by the great spirit, by the universe, your spirit guides. It's never unseen. Everything you do is recorded and seen and observed. And when you take the initiative to go deep within yourself and to rebuild yourself and to empower yourself and to teach yourself, you are also teaching the universe that you have a potential that is able to be reached. You have a potential within you that's able to push through things. And you align your frequency with a higher frequency of expectations. And then as you do so, you will often see people come into your life that need your guidance, that need to see that you are not just all talk, right? So many people give advice, but then whenever you look at them, how much of their own advice have they even taken? Or they give advice and then you find out that they've done the complete opposite. So a lot of times the universe will take someone that has walked the dark path and has went through their shadows and has faced many things and has pushed herself beyond what anybody would have, you know, expected them to be able to do. And they will take that person and that will be the teacher. That will be the person that the universe, the creator, uses to teach others, because people see that you truly have done the work. You're not just speaking it, you're not just saying it. You have truly done it. And you have done the work on such a level that if they look at your work and they look at their work, maybe theirs isn't nowhere near as complicated as you are. So they know what that if you are able to do it at the depth that you've done it, then surely they can do it where they are, right? And so that's whenever you become the teacher. But we are always learning. We're always a student. As long as we have life in us and as long as we're breathing, we are always a student, right? We're going to pull some from the Mystic Soul Oracle deck. So we never stop being a student. As soon as somebody says I'm the best teacher, I'm the greatest teacher, um, they've closed the door on learning and inspiring and growing, because you should always be able to be taught. Yeah, so secrets are opening up to you, divine secrets, secrets within you, secrets within this world, this realm, right? Secrets that help you to understand yourself more. It's not always about understanding the the whole life here and the stuff that's happening and everything, but sometimes it's just the secrets within you. How you can overcome fear, you can love again, you can heal yourself. Like sometimes it's just discovering your own secrets that matters the most, right? Yeah, holding on to hope, holding on to the fact that anything is possible. Wisdom comes out over top of teacher. See, you have the wisdom within you because you've done the work. You didn't just read about it, you didn't just study about it, you have walked the path. And that wisdom is a deep rooted wisdom. It is experience, not just learning, but it is experience, and it goes deep. It goes deep within you because you have the ancestors. The owl often represents the ancestors, and the ancestors are coming in and they're admiring you. They're watching you do this as hard as it is. They are watching you show up and do it because you have that spark within you, that fire within you that says, I want to experience everything I can so that I understand for myself. And so I can help others truly understand because I've been there, right? Been there, done that kind of thing. And you got the abundance coming in over top of the freedom and priority. Yeah, so abundance is coming in for you. This is going to be a great unexpected. I think there's many things are going to unfold in ways that you may not have even anticipated because you may have done things that even the great creator is impressed with and didn't expect and just you've done so much that you're going to have abundance in ways that you probably could have never imagined and everybody's going to know that it was a higher force because of the way that everything is going to be done for you. There's no denying, and that is something that is deep because it shows that for many of those that don't believe in a higher force or don't believe in a god or creator or spirit realm or whatever it is, you're going to be an example that there is no explanation other than, okay, the force working through you, the creator working through you, right? You are rooted as above, so below, right? Your roots go deep, you are protected and you are guided, and you are pulling the wisdom from above and you are pulling it down below into the realm that you're in and into the decisions that you're making, and your roots run deep. You're pulling into the ancestral realms, you're going back into your DNA, you're tracking your understanding of things so that you can have the courage to do the things that you're being called to do without fear, right? And yeah, you're not agreeing to everything, right? You're not taking no for an answer. You are seeking and you are finding everything within you. You're looking at what it is that you need to do and how you need to do it. And if you get a no, then you search for the yes, right? You don't just allow somebody to dictate your energy. You have taken back control and you are doing it yourself. So I hope this reading has helped you. Thank you so much for being here. I wish you so much luck and best wishes and blessings. And this is a beautiful reading for you. And I will see you in the next one, hopefully. Have a great day. Bye.